for joining us on another episode of Living Single While Parenting. My name is Jillian. We have Anusha, Keegan, and Danny is joining us on the couch. Welcome, Danny.
Thank you.
So tonight's topic is going to focus on public aid. Should public aid fund single parents? What do you think?
It's funded me for some time, and I have a degree, but I had to resort to it because the people in your lives, the relatives and the friends that quote unquote say, oh, I have your back, or I'll help you out, actually don't have your back. Mm-hmm. And you have to find other ways. I mean, I wasn't so proud to go into that office and say, you know, I need that help, but I ended up by myself having to raise a child. And like I said, I was working, but I was working temporary gigs. I was trying to get back in after being pregnant and giving birth. I was trying to get back into the workforce. I was experiencing so many setbacks, not having full-time jobs coming along. Mm-hmm. So I had to resort to it. I'm still resorted to it, unfortunately.
Are you still using it?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm still resorted to it, but like I said, I just had like a job, but it was commission-based. I'm like, I have to pay for daycare. Another thing, people who were trying to help me or trying to give me advice on it, they would say, well, why don't you let them, pay for the babysitting? I mean, you're getting the card. Yeah, I'm like, I just want to pay for something. It's like, I'm already getting the medical card. I'm already getting help with the link card. I don't need that babysitting cash or however is it that they go about doing it. I'm like, I just want to pitch in some way. And I was still paying my taxes. I mean, like I said, I was working temporary gigs, but they weren't full-time enough to help me, to buy groceries and, do other things, pay my student loans and my other bills. So I did resort to public aid as a single parent.
I think it's two parts to that. I think for you to say that you did resort to public aid is one part of it, and you're using it responsibly. Mm-hmm. You're not laying on it as a crutch. It's one thing when you receive public aid and you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 children, mm-hmm. and you never want to do anything. You never want to get off of your butt. But it's another thing when you know you need help, mm-hmm. and you go and you seek that help, but you're seeking that help to better yourself. Mm-hmm. It's for the betterment of yourself and your children. Because when it comes out of my paycheck, I feel like I don't want to take care of someone who's just sitting around. It's like I'm working for mm-hmm. you to sit on your butt mm-hmm. and do nothing. But if I'm working, because we all need help at one point and one time in our lives, mm-hmm. if I'm working to help someone else out, then it's fine. Because then in return, they will get out, they'll get a job, the same money will come out of their check, mm-hmm. and you'll help someone else in return. Mm-hmm. But when it's someone who's just sitting around collecting a check, and when you go to the grocery store, they have 20 bags of ramen noodles and flaming hots uh-huh. and everything unhealthy under the sun in their carts. And they have these link cards with $1,000 on there. And I'm standing there in line, and I have my credit card or my debit card, and I'm wondering, okay,
can you just pay for my food too?
Right.
Essentially.
Right.
Do I sound bad because I don't kind of want to help an able-bodied person? Mm-hmm. Like I almost want to say, well, were you financially secure before you got pregnant?
I was, but after birth and trying to get back in and not having the second income and just doing it on my own, I had a little nest egg, but that ran out because during that time I was looking for work, trying to get that full-time job because mm-hmm. as a single parent, I came back at a time where people were getting laid off, that full-time security was no longer there. And I have my degree, I was trying to get into retail management, and they were like telling me, well, there's a cashier job. And I'm like, I have a baby. It's like, I have to pay for daycare. I cannot get paid $7 an hour and still expect to pay for daycare, buy pampers, wipe that, And I know that, that some people will say that's an excuse. I know, Jillian, you're like the kind of person who believes in accountability. But, some people, they get mad because I do believe that some people abuse it.
Many.
And that's where, innocent working people are like, hey, that's unfair to me because you're busting my tail, and this lazy mom is not actually doing anything to get off that public aid.
Right. I understand where you're coming from, and think in this world, in this lifetime, we all need somebody. How we need them, what we need them for, it all comes in a different variety. So if you need a medical card, if you need, I've had a medical card from Public Aid before. I mean, we both know it doesn't cover much. I mean, I guess it stops you from dying on the street, but
yeah.
It's still a form. It's a medical card where you can get medication if you believe in European medicines. You can still get medication. You can keep the upkeep of your children's teeth, vision, and keep their health. Their immunizations
Medical card
up
covers dental services
for children.
Yes.
because I have a lot of students with very bad teeth, and I always wonder, like, if it's not paid for, that's why they're not getting it fixed.
But there's even a program in CPS that assists children with their dental work. So maybe their parents just don't want to take them to the dentist. And if they have a medical card and they're under the age of 19, I believe either 18 or 19, Public Aid will cover teeth cleanings, fillings. So I think that's on the onus of the parents as to whether they're that lazy parent that sits down and watches soap operas all day. I don't know if the soap still come on, but or whatever it is that they're doing, or maybe they're just too tired from eating all of the ramen noodles. No, it's very disturbing to me. It's just really disturbing to me when I see that. And with me being a chef, I'm looking at their carts and I'm just like, okay, this came out of my check. I should be able to go over to their cart and take that stuff out of there. You're feeding this to your children, and you should be feeding them healthy foods. Like, you're ruining their teeth. Speaking of ruining teeth, you're ruining their teeth with all of this sugar. You're killing their brains with all of this sodium. They have high blood pressure, diabetes, everything. I think in regards to Public Aid and the link card, I think it should be certain items that you should not be able to buy.
I saw a lady in Roser's Bakery. Shout out to Roser's. You guys make the best cakes ever.
They do.
Next to Danny. Roses, they're pricey. And I used to get my birthday cakes from them. They're like $100. I saw a lady buy a Rose's cake with a link card. I was pissed. Genuinely pissed. How dare you? How dare you use my tax dollars that I wake up 5 days a week to work for to buy a friggin' cake? Shouldn't be allowed to.
But the
Keegan is stewing on something.
It shouldn't be a luxury. It shouldn't be luxury items. It should be a necessity.
Absolutely.
When we work every day, because there are a lot of people that work a regular 9-to-5 job that are still struggling, and they only buy the necessities. That's the same way Public Aid should be. It should be where you can only buy the necessities. It shouldn't be a free-for-all where you can do what you want to do because you did not make this money.
No, you did not.
I'm gonna have to step in here. I have to say something. I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. I disagree to an extent. I don't feel that they should be able to dictate what you buy. I think that more responsible type of counseling may be in order because some people just don't know how to cook. Some people may not have time to cook. This may be something that
they do have time, right? Because those are the people that aren't working. That's why they get in the link.
The
thing is, I'm gonna throw myself in the example. I'm also right now. I have benefits for my children and myself because my job is such. I work half time, part time. They call it half time. But if they were to take medical and dental out of my check, I would not receive a check. Therefore, I need medical. I qualify for food stamps because of the amount of money I make, but it's like $200 a month. I have 3 grown children, so I pay about $5 a month in food. And then we got the other bills. So, medical, food stamps, that's enough for me anyway. The thing is, because I only get that amount, I feel that they should not have to tell me what I purchased with my link card because I can't get anything but necessities with it anyway. When people don't know what or how to, make food, like your chef, you know what's good and what's bad. Some people don't know.
I beg to differ. You know that a bag of Flaming Hots are not nutritious.
But it could be a snack for a child after school. And you can't quite dictate what this person wants to do with their food. You can't. It's just not.
But this is something that is given to you. It's not something that you earn and that you work for.
Some people earn it.
Some people do earn it.
I mean, it's, like you said, she works part time. I work.
She earned the extra $300 that she added to the two, but she didn't earn the two that was given to her.
I worked before I even had children. So
that's what you're saying. Like you've already put money into the pot.
I put money into the pot. I could take it out.
Now you know what? I actually agree with that, and I'm sorry I just cut you off like that. I actually like, to me, if you worked and you have contributed money into the pot, and there comes a time when you can use it back, I can get behind that more so than the generation
that have done nothing at all for it. But what I beg to differ on is that parents do know, because I mean, unless you're
a moron,
right, or incapable of comprehending certain things, you know that an apple, a pear, an orange, celery with peanut butter, carrot sticks, you understand that is more important and more nutritious, health conscious to your child than a bag of Flaming Hots, than a bag of M&M's and peanuts.
So what about for educational snacks? Are they never supposed to have these things? Their friends have them all the time.
So when they work and they can afford to buy themselves.
And if just because their friends have it, that's their friends' health. You have to be health conscious and look out for what's right for your children. I mean, I guess if you want them to indulge in it because it's sweet and because everybody else has it and you don't want them to feel left out of what everyone in society is doing.
And that's a lot of parents' excuse. Like, they feel like they're depriving the child if they don't. The child asks for food, even though the child is like a little bit overweight. They feel like they're depriving the child by not giving the child the food. But in actuality, if the child is overweight or has a little bit more meat, you need to be more health conscious in feeding the child. And another thing, some people actually blame it on their culture.
Right, I agree.
Oh, I grew up eating fried chicken with the grease dripping out of it.
I grew up eating pounds of butter and pig fat. Just because you grew up that way doesn't mean that that's the way to be. It's what Oprah said: when you know better, do better.
Absolutely.
But if you don't do better, the things that you do know that are wrong, you're harming your children's health.
Right. But you know what? It's a couple of different layers. There's, you have worked, you've put money into the system, you might need to make a little withdrawal every once in a while.
True.
Then there's, you've never worked.
Right.
You've never put money
into
the system. And all you do
system.
is you have your hand out. And then it's like you mentioned earlier, it's you have one children. You have three. Unfortunately, you had a parent who passed away. So those are kind of different circumstances. If you have 5, 6 more children. Hell, if you have 3 children and you never worked a job. If you had one child and you never worked a job.
Right.
And there are some people who
they're dependent
have
on
the child to get the Section 8, the LIC, and all of these services.
That is
true. And you know, and
but that's cultural. That's that cultural poverty, I think. That's that.
When you say cultural, what culture?
No. That mentality or the culture of poverty, I guess. That mentality where this is all you know.
Right.
Your mother had it, and she's telling you, well, you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to leave up here.
Right.
And so you say, well, hey, I can get on the system. I can have a baby by this whoever. It doesn't matter who, have this baby.
But why can't that something be to go to school, to learn a trade?
That's how the culture of poverty works. It's not to better oneself.
I don't know.
To sustain.
So many of us have been in that culture of poverty. And we've taken a different route. And I always say it isn't rocket science. If 1 or 2 of us can get the picture, 5, 6, 7, it's just that they're taking the easy way out. They're using it as a scapegoat. I mean, maybe I'm going to get a lot of knocks for saying this, but we live in a different time. You know how our parents always say, it's a different time from when we were coming up. We live in a totally different time, space, era, where that does not have to be your way out. Like, they do it because they want to, that's just what they want to do. They don't want to work. They want to have children so that they can live on the system, so everyone else can take care of them, because that's the easiest thing to do.
Right.
It's not because they don't know any better. It's just because that's what they want to do.
But think about what you just said. You just said, so if a few of us see the route that some people have gotten educated so that they can get the better job now, the reason that they're probably on the 8 in the first place is they're a single mother, single income, not enough money, i.e. they need this money, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you get more educated to get a job to help you pay, then by becoming more educated, it almost makes you undateable by the uneducated man.
Right.
And you're almost signing a piece of paper saying I'm going to be a single parent forever because now these men out there are scared of me and my education. That's a whole different topic. I get it. You know, but then you're still in a single income household. It's almost damn if you do, damn if you don't.
I mean, just use it to build yourself up if you're on that situation. Right. And then there's also a flip side to this. There's so many sides and there's so many layers.
Right.
Because other races, other cultures, other nationalities are allowed to use the system, to sit on the system, to get themselves better, to go to college, to do everything they need to do. And they're not looked at the way African American women are looked at.
I agree, because when the economy in like 2010, 2009, the economy was starting to get a downturn. There was a case on Dateline. I watch Dateline a lot, and this guy was making $700,000 a year, feeding his family, going on trips, and having a luxury life. And it got done where he was delivering pizza, and the family was on food stamps. And do you know, in the city, like, I have a link card. Mine is blue, and it says Link. Theirs is like a MasterCard. It's like a credit card. Yes, in the suburbs.
Wow.
Yeah, it does not have the Link blue on there. It's like a,
it isn't labeled now.
The white it is a white family, and the white woman is saying, "Thank God, it's this description because you know it's like I'm embarrassed."
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I hear when I hear your story? I hear how in the did you make $700,000 almost $1 million a year, and you felt broke and you were instantly broke? If I make $700,000 a year, man, a couple of years have to go by before I can hit broke.
But that's another topic as well.
Exactly.
Because, man, that's a lot of way. It's the way you live, right? And it's the way you live, feeling as if you have an entitlement to certain things in this country. And certain things will never happen to you.
Right. But there was another family, another white family I was reading on MSN.com. They had 10 mil and ended up nothing. How the heck did you blow? I mean, look at that, the Housewives of New Jersey, that family, the Italian family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on. They're morons. You know what?
It's great talk now, but you know how we spend our money and so forth.
He's keeping the money in his culture. He's Italian. He's delivering people. I want to close this out with this thought, and I just want to say that when you receive this public aid, a lot of times it feels like you're getting this free money, but it's really you're making a contract with the government, and the government is saying to you that in exchange for this roof over your head with the Section 8 and the Link card and the medical card and all the other freebies and daycare action, everything that you're getting, you sign on the dotted line, you're promising them that you're never going to amount to anything in your life. Because the only way you're going to get that free stuff is if you promise to not do anything on your end to ever be successful. So you just think about it. It feels like free money now, but you will pay for it in the long run. You may disagree. Join us on Facebook at Living Single Wild Parents and let us know. Thank you.
Thank you.